It's Convo Time, the show where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with young people, young adults. This week, I've got my friends with me. Toby, how you doing?
Good. Always here. Never left. I feel like I live in this house.
You sleeps here? Might as well. Mi casa su casa. I've got Aya, the beautiful Aya. She's looking hot today.
Thanks.
How you doing?
How you doing?
And we've got my girl Oluchi. How you doing, baby girl? She's gonna join us in this conversation today. So guys, what are we talking about? What's our conversation? How we feeling today?
Yeah, Oluchi in the building.
Yes!
You know, that I hate to say it's Oluchi, like I know, I mean you're probably wondering why is this guy going at me? But to be honest with you, that's actually the childhood of me right there. I grew up always taking the piss out of girls who had funny names. Especially like Igbo girls.
Wow.
It's not an insult, it was just banter. It's just fun.
You should know when someone wants to be.
In life, you see, some people in life, they don't even know when they want to have fun. We were created to help them have that fun. Like, yeah, so I'm a special being, I know. Speaking about childhood though, something funny, right? Growing up, we always had housemates. So this is very popular.
Housemates.
Maids.
Oh, sorry.
So, and they used to always come from the village, and they always have Igbo names, right? And
all of them, every single one of your housemates that you've ever had was Igbo.
Always Igbo names, right? Now here's the funny thing, right? My granny complained one day. She was like, "This is in Yoruba now, but I'll say what it means in English." She was like, "Kilo di all the time, which was why you always bringing?" Because then she had to try to teach them how to speak Yoruba.
Why Yoruba though?
Because my granny she spoke Yoruba most of the time,
right,
so
okay.
she was always like, it's difficult, trying to speak English to them. So she said we go she.
Yeah.
So every time I met an Igbo girl,
Not she.
I would say she.
C-H-I. Say she.
Do you find that offensive though?
Yeah, I do.
So if we're in primary school together,
I'll slap you.
ladies and gentlemen, you have it.
You got it.
So we know you are a man with your child. Well, you have it now. You just put it out there.
One thing is,
so
I was very shy
as
as a child.
Really?
As in painfully very shy.
Did you have the childhood that I don't think everybody went through that childhood phase? It was kind of like, I know some people that I kind of went from I'm a kid to bang, I'm a grown up.
Okay.
But how were you as a child? Did you get to play all them fun games?
Yeah, definitely. I have 4 brothers.
Wow.
So I was the only girl for a while before my little sister came home.
Okay.
So I was always with the boys, playing with the boys. We always had the PlayStation, or was it PlayStation then? I don't even know. But we always had this game where it's like I forgot the name of the games, but it was always on TV. And then when we go out to play, we always had a bicycle to go out and play and all that.
What's the one thing let's say everybody remembers in terms of, let's say, games? What's the one game you remember playing like all the time as a child?
Tinko.
Especially when there's no light.
I actually have a PhD in Tinko.
Let's give it a go. Yeah.
You can play this, right?
You guys have to sing along as well. You can't just be doing that like. Come on.
I need to
Do you know the song? I don't remember the song. Okay, let's go.
Tinko. So there you go, PhD.
You challenged one amateur person. You can't say you have a PhD, Toby.
Listen, I've been playing this all my life.
Like, okay, next time we're here, we have to make sure that we do a challenge. I'll make sure I'm practicing.
Tinko. See, at a young age, I found out I had one thing. Right? I always like to play with girls.
Right.
Okay.
We know.
That ain't obvious.
And I'm still straight, So I guess my own play was good play.
Right.
So I used to always find games with girls very interesting. It was always funny. And they play games like Tinko. Like when you're in primary school, when you have break time games. And they had this one, I think it was 1 hop or 2 hop.
When you drop the box.
Yeah, I'm not good at that one.
Isn't that called hopscotch?
Wow. Nigeria is called something else.
I know that you throw a stone and then you.
Yeah, in Nigeria it's called something
else. That's hopscotch.
Yeah, that's the boys' version of the shop. But long story short, I always like playing it with girls. And it was something where found out that, I actually used to have nice banter with girls because I used to annoy them and they can't get rid of me.
Can we get rid of him, please? Okay.
I thought I was Oluchi that was going to say that, but now you're hanging on. No wonder you guys are sitting together.
Sit together. We're just forming a squad.
Yeah. So just get used to it. Like, I'm a nice guy.
He said
that's my childhood. Though. I wish we were actually in my childhood.
When?
We would be best friends.
When do you feel like your childhood stopped then?
Never stopped.
So you feel like you're still a child?
Someone like him? No, never stopped.
Never stopped.
I said we would have been best friends. I didn't say you're in my childhood. How do you know you stopped? No, but really though, I felt like, I have something which is everywhere I go. Well, it depends on the vibe I get from people.
Right.
If I'm comfortable with you, I always like to make sure everyone's in a good mood.
Right.
Because growing up, childhood wasn't actually all that great. Because I had to leave. I lived with my dad, my mom, my granny. I was a kid who always moved around. Right. So I learned how to play with myself a lot. That came out wrong.
Wow!
No, but when I mean play with myself, entertain myself.
By yourself.
No, play with myself.
I
used to talk to myself. I used to talk to myself as a kid. I used to play a lot with myself. Because I always found out that, you know what, I don't know where I'm going to be the next moment. So I was my best friend. I'm not hugging. You guys are ready. You stood now, stay over there.
I'll stay here.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying though, growing up for me was very important. And I feel like I'd turned out great. Because I know that was very funny.
Something about throat.
Yeah, I hope you took on it. But the reason why I actually turned out great was because I found out that I always kept myself. I was always engaging with myself. I'd always try to put myself in check. I was a kid who teachers said I was very stubborn. I was too playful. There was always so much negativity around me. And I always felt like, okay, my mom doesn't want me, that's why I'm with my dad today. But that doesn't want me now, send me back to her. And I grew up in a Muslim/Christian, Yoruba, Hausa. So playing with myself, as in me, myself, and I. I don't want to use the word by myself. It makes me look sad. I actually used to play, talk to me. I would like talk to Toby. I was supposed to dream. It worked well for me, and I'm okay, I think.
Continue to think so. But the way you were saying teachers and stuff would say that you're a stubborn child. I feel like teachers play a huge part in your childhood because you spend so much time in school, and when you go home, obviously you're with your parents, but they always get feedback from the teachers as well. And I remember when I was young, and because I like to talk, I just like to talk and chat and have the lulls and laugh, and I just always was like that. And when I was younger, I had a bit more energy, so I was able to do that a bit more as well. But I remember one time my teacher said to my mom that I'm a hyper student. My mom wasn't having it. She was like, Ayo, what are you doing that they're calling you hyper? And I was like 7. I was like, what does it mean to be hyper? Am I bad? And things like that really affect you, because I realized that I mellowed since then. Up until I realized what the word hyper actually meant, and I was like, there is nothing wrong with being hyper.
Hyper was a trend in your life. You ruined a lot.
So I'm back to my hyper self now.
But I think when I grew up, I remember my mom telling me one of the school reports I got was Loretta, on the school report it said Loretta is a good girl, Loretta is a talking drum. And I'm like, so am I supposed to shut up now for the rest of my life? I just like to talk, but
I think that's kind of complimentary, or is that?
It wasn't intended to be complimentary.
No,
Loretta is a talking drum. Talking drum is not meant to be complimentary. But then the Loretta that I am, it just stopped me from talking. I kind of bled a bunch of people's ear off with my. I was an only child back then. Like you, actually.
I wasn't an only child though.
I was an only child. I had this thing I did where I would sit. I heard stories about my childhood. Half of it I don't remember. When I hear stories, I get flashbacks. Apparently, being an only child, I had a bunch of dolls. And my dolls were my best friends. I treated them like my sisters. And if I wanted to play with my dolls, I'd sit down, have cups of tea with them, and play hide and seek. How do you play hide and seek with dolls? You sit in a wardrobe, say, I'm hiding dolls, come get me, and wait 3 hours for them to come find you, fall asleep. And your parents looking for you everywhere. This was the funniest thing I heard.
That's like extended version of hide and seek.
Apparently, they all thought I disappeared, ran away, something. Apparently, I was sitting in the wardrobe, waiting for my dolls to come look for me.
Did they ever find you?
My parents did, not the dolls.
Dolls did not look hard enough. They would not look hard enough.
I actually have a good hide and seek story. I actually bring back, back then. I got a couple of scars because of that story.
Oh,
wow.
So long story short, my mom's friend, she used to sell, she owned a funeral home / I don't know what they call them. They sell caskets and stuff like that, right? So the shop was right in front of the house. The house is behind the back of the shop in Africa. It wouldn't make sense if you've never been to Africa, you understand that kind of shop / house kind of thing. But that was what it was. So me and her daughter, we playing hide and seek. And I was like, oh man, let me introduce someone. And I'm a kid who always likes to entertain myself, like I said, you know what? I'm gonna hide in a casket.
oh good lord.
No, it was a good joke.
Oh.
Because Toby, of all people, would
let me
hide in the casket.
Let me finish the story, right? So I got in the casket. You know the showroom for where they put the caskets?
Yeah.
I got into one, closed the thing, and then she was walking around. She was like, where's each and everything? Boo! Now, blame it on, it's not my fault. I want to go.
But whose fault?
You know when you watch movies like Diamond Ring and stuff like that, you want to be scary. So I was like, boo! And then she ran. No, she ran and then she went to sleep as a girl. She ran off.
Wait, as a girl? What do you mean as a girl?
When you play hide and seek with girls, they always take you, when you do something, they always...
came out of a coffin, what's just?
Yeah, see, I expected her to run. But then she ran to my mom and her mom. And was like,
too far.
Look away, Toby! And then, you know what happens now? After that mother find out that you went to go and sleep in a coffin. That coffin almost went 6 feet that day.
Oh my goodness.
Mom,
with you in it?
No, she can't do, that's her son. But technically in her mind, she did. In my own mind, I went to that coffin because they beat the crap out of me that day. You know, like.
I think it was well deserved.
And no, I didn't deserve to get in. Like, I was only a kid, like, come on.
Like, how old are you?
I was about 8, 9. Yeah.
You shouldn't have been in a coffin at the age of 9.
But you see, I used to, because I was going there all the time and I used to see it. And it looked like a bed that was very comfortable. It's weird. But I'm sorry. That hide and seek didn't go well. And after that, I learned that, you know what? As a kid, I have to start thinking like an adult sometimes. So if I do things, I used to always think, whoa, my mom. You know, we have that WWJD. Mine was, what would that do? Oh, my mother.
Wow!
You know, so that was to make sure that was background check. Send the signal. You know when you have to, like, you have the angel here and then you have the demon here. Mine was Yatobi here. You gotta make sure.
I hope your mom watches this right now.
You gotta make sure how you behave. So, you know, like from there on, I started learning that, okay, now you gotta think about things before you do them. See what your mom's gonna do to you.
What were punishments that we received as children? We'll be back after the break to discuss that. Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about punishments and how do we get punished as children. When we were children, do you remember any punishments that you got or what you did wrong for your punishment?
Wait, before we answer the question, right? Our director of photography told us a story about what happened to him when he was a child. Oh my god. Yeah. I know, you tell the story.
What? Yeah, okay. Right. So he was saying that something that he used to do a lot was fall off the bed, guys. And obviously as a child you're like, this is not fun, I'm hurting myself. So so one night it's not fun. So one night he decided like he'd find a way to stop falling off the bed. So he decided he'd tie a rope around his neck and like attach it to the bed so that he wouldn't fall. It makes sense when you're young. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Magic thing when you think about it.
I'm gonna tie a rope to my neck. I'm not gonna die.
When you're young. But then he said when he was asleep, his dad found him, like his dad saw him and saw that he was tied to the bed basically by his neck. So his dad took it off in his sleep and he let him sleep, which was really kind, wasn't it? Like he let him sleep. And then the morning after, he approached him and saying, you tried to commit suicide, right? And he beat him. He beat him as an African father would.
But what I want to know, why did he get... Is it right for him to get beaten for thinking he did something?
No, I think that's ridiculous. I think he shouldn't have been beaten for that.
I think it's an African thing though. Every punishment is more like you're getting beaten for something.
Yeah. I feel like there's less explanation and like more action. Yeah, basically.
I think the most sensible thing to have for the parents of them is explain that what he did was crazy and he could have killed himself.
Yeah.
So then,
see, I feel like that's the difference. That's the difference between being a child in Africa or Nigeria and being a child abroad. Because I know if that had happened to one of my Irish friends, their parents would sit them aside and go, probably wake them up in the middle of the night and go, honey, you can't put a rope around your neck, you're going to die. I don't want you to die, love.
Honey, you don't
But I'm just trying to stay on the bed so I don't fall off. Okay, if you want to stay on the bed, just put a cushion on the floor so even if you do fall off, you're not going to bang your head, okay, honey? Okay, mom. But in Niger, it's like, what are you trying to do to me? You want me to be a motherless child?
Yeah, but we
My childless motherless child. Wow.
It's kind of like normal. Speaking about getting cautioned and stuff like that. Like see when you explain to the kid, I feel like giving the kid that option to like understand that okay, you have a relationship where they tell you something, you feel like okay, let me think about it. Mom, I'll go think about it and I'll come back to you to talk about it. That kind of thing. It didn't work in my family. My mom now, before there was 2 stages. The first one is my mom. You know that statement is always not like this, but you know what do you say?
What does that mean?
They say, oh, they would do shit. Don't look at someone in the eye or something like that. It's like you're scared of the person. Do you get me?
Okay.
My mom was Uche. My mom only had, it was 3 eye contacts. The first one is this one. And now the second one is this one. Third one, that's the worst one. That's when game over. That one means we'll meet our own. The first one is compose yourself. The second one is you're in trouble. The second one is when you know that there's no go back.
You might as well follow through.
The second one is letting you know that you're going to be killed when you get home. That's the confirmation. So we've had that agreement. Now the third one is not only killing. A lot of things are going to happen to me that night. Right. So for me, growing up, I knew my mom. She won't say anything. Now there's something my mom used to do that used to hurt me. You know when you go to someone's house, you know Nigerian traffic. Take like 2-3 hours to get to that place. Yeah. And then you get there. Toby, do you want food? Yes, Toby, right? Listen. I'm like this. Toby, are you hungry? My mom will not be like, see, when my mom goes and looks away, that's Toby at that jump. That means the bone you wear eats. So I'll not be like, no, mom, I'm not hungry. Now that's the problem, right?
And then you eat.
Then I was say, mommy, I didn't come out only one, which means, as your mom said, that you can't eat in our house. And I'm like, no, Toby, are you hungry? If you're hungry, eat. Now that's what the problem is. Now I have to make the hardest decision of my life. You see? Or is she actually saying Toby eat? Let me tell you, this thing really messed up my childhood. That's why I can't really make up my mind with decision. When people ask me, Toby, are you going out? I'll be like, I don't know yet, maybe. Because it's hard to make decisions. Because they are there going, now is when you know what's going to happen. And then I'll be like, no, mom, I'm hungry. You've not eaten to eat. And I'm like, And then you know the funniest thing, guests, they always want to be like, hey, you don't eat my, they not bring food. You know when they put it on the table. Now, for me to carry that food and start eating it, I have to also confirm. And when I look at my mom, I'm not like, trust me, you lose your appetite. Like, you lose your, I don't want to eat anymore. Because I don't know if I'm going to eat. Growing up like that, it wasn't easy.
But would you not, if you know you're going to get in trouble, and you know you're hungry, just eat the food and go and get the beating.
Let me tell you something.
Because you know which way you're going to get beaten.
I tried it once, and I know what happened. It didn't go well.
You
know when you start eating, you get too comfortable. I started waffling. I think that's why my mom didn't like me eating outside. Because once you give me food, everything can go.
Oh my God.
I started waffling. The next thing, I was so happy because I even was like, don't be a very funny, lively kid.
Okay, other than beating, what other punishments? Because I feel like it's just like African parents with stereotyping African parents that all they do is beat. I don't remember getting beaten all that much. So when you hit in the wall, you didn't get punished. I actually didn't. I actually didn't get punished. I think my parents are more worried about the fact that they thought I was kidnapped, probably.
Yeah, maybe I'll be seeing you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think here's another question I have actually. Yes, do you think that punishments were related to your upbringing as well? Like, for example, were you Ajebo or Ajapako, and did you feel like if you were Ajapako, you got beaten more than Ajebo kids? Like, personally speaking, I would say I probably are more like.
That's you.
That's just it. Like I said, I was an only child, so I feel like my parents kind of like treasured me a little bit more, and I lived with a bunch of adults. Like everybody lived in our house. Everybody wanted to live with us, so I was spoiled rotten. Even if my parents wanted to lift a finger at me, there'll be a bunch of people backing me up. Go, oh no, on my day she's only a child, that kind of thing. And even when I did get punished, I wouldn't get punished to the extent that I would be beaten all the time. My beatings were, as far as I remember, they were moderate. It was more kneel down in the corners, put your hand up, and then I cry for a bit, and my dad would be like, okay, Omo,
I'm jealous right now.
Lucky for some, you know.
I'm jealous. You didn't pick toe.
John is kicked toe.
Or squat.
Pick toe. Pick this picture right. Do like this. Yeah. And then there was front jump.
Front jump.
And then we had to drive a car. That was my uncles. Yeah. And then the worst one was I got in school was to push a car. The teacher would actually draw a car on the blackboard and tell you to push it from A to B.
How did you do that?
You don't tell me that I draw that.
You push it.
So I don't know.
You push it.
What do you? Goodness, there were some awful ones. Yeah, a lot of working out. I like to think that's why, like, you know,
you're so strong
now. And in my life, because I've done a lot of working out probably puberty. So you know, just kind of evolved with that. It's crazy. I think one of the most stupid punishments that I ever experienced was in primary school in Nigeria, and I can't remember what was done, but the teacher asked to myself and I think another student to knock on the floor, and the floor is like raw concrete floor, like to knock on the floor and just keep going at it, but do it loud enough that she could hear at some point. And it just made like no sense, and I just couldn't get it, but we're there like knocking, but obviously it's like you're push the car from point A to B.
That's really mean.
It's awful, and she's like, I can't hear you.
Can you hear now?
Your teacher's crazy. I can't hear you. I'm like, really? So you expect yourself to hear me?
Crazy people, yeah, genuinely. So I think some punishments just take it too far. I don't mind the workouts because it's a workout. Well, I don't mind it now. I wouldn't like to be working out or anything, but they weren't as
that's what the gym is for.
Yeah,
well, here's one thing I always wonder when people talk about childhood and all that thing. Would you change your childhood for like? Would you ever change if you wanted to? Would you be like, you know what? I would like to do this, do that different in my childhood, or would you be like, listen, it was perfect?
that's a good question.
I don't think I'd change anything because I feel like it shaped me. Now, with me saying that now, I know all of you are probably thinking, sure, she hardly even like got in trouble or anything.
Yeah,
I was just a good girl, okay. But I did get punished, and I did do things wrong. I did get punished for them. My dad was not. He was not.
I thought you said nuts.
Well, he could have been nuts.
If your dad sees this, like,
Daddy, I love you. If my dad was very friendly with a cane when he needed to, with a cane and a belt and anything that he could get his hands on if he was mad enough that he needed to beat me up. And me saying I was an only child, I grew up with kids in the house as well.
Okay.
So I was an only child to my parents, but my cousins also lived with us. So they would get in trouble with my dad as well. Mm-hmm. So whenever I got in trouble, they got in trouble. Whenever they got in trouble, I got in trouble. There was no segregation of that's my child, I'm not going to beat her because you did it wrong or whatever. But majority of my childhood, when we moved out of Nigeria and came to Ireland, was spent with my mom. And my mom did not know how to beat. She would rather not talk to you, and that was her way of telling me she's mad at me, and I'd feel really bad. Right. My mom's way is, okay, and that's it, we're not talking. She won't lift a finger. If my mom raises her finger and wants to hit you, I can never forget the day she hit my sister. And I don't know if it was just what my sister did wrong, but I knew my mom was mad enough that she hit my sister from the living room, up the stairs, into her bedroom, and back to the middle of the stairs, to the stair where my sister was like, I had to beg my mom, like, please. That was where I knew my mom does not know how to beat. That's why she doesn't touch. So for me, my saving grace was when my mom wasn't talking to me. It was very simple. It's better she doesn't talk to me. I don't want her beating. When my dad was around, if my dad doesn't talk to me, it was a complete opposite. I'm like, Daddy, just talk. He's like, beat me, or if you want to beat me.
Because you don't know what game.
Because I don't know what he's up to. I'm just like, Just talk to me, like, I don't. Do you see what beats me when I am here? Just beat me, let me cry, and then we'll become friends again. But is it something that we feel our parents would do something different? Like, we're all abroad now, and we're not in Nigeria anymore. We're older and hopefully wiser. But do you think our parents would do or punish us in the same way now that we're abroad? If things were different back then, if you get what I mean?
That my sister gets away with some things I wouldn't get away with.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the way she would talk to my mom. Sometimes I'll be like, seriously? She said that to you? And then if I did that, it would be a different case because it's me. You know, that kind of way. But because she's Irish and she was born here, so I think there are different parenting skills now that we're here than when we were in Nigeria.
Do you think though that maybe parents just get lazier as kids come along? To be honest, no, genuinely, because like my eldest sister, like she got the worst of it, and then my sister next got the worst of it, and then like I was pretty liberal. Yeah. But like with my little sister now, like sometimes, God Lord, she's my baby, but like sometimes when she like says some things to my parents, I would actually look, like I do the look that your mom used to do. I do the look, and she knows, and then she'll be like, she'll realize that she's doing it, or she'll say sorry or whatever, like. But I think it's just like with the age, and my parents are like older now. They're just like us, and she has her older sisters that will make sure she stays on the right path.
I think they're looking for the older ones to do the job of the parents.
Yeah. Sometimes, like if my little sister, if she does something, my mom will tell her, I'm gonna ring up Ayo, and she'll be like, oh mom, don't tell Ayo.
So we're saying parents at this stage. Are we saying they get lazier?
Yeah, they're retired.
Let's begin. Basically, they're passing on the mantle or something.
So it seems like we all had pretty fun childhoods with the beatings and the slappings and the games and the hide and seeks.
True.
It was all fun and games, and it's been absolutely fabulous talking about our childhoods, our funs, and our times. Memories are absolutely fabulous, and I hope you share all your memories with us on Twitter at Convo_time or Facebook at Convotime. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon.